Hey everybody, today we're looking at replacement and expressions. Are you ready to go and replace X, Y, and Z? Yes, it's Z. Here we go. All right, everybody. So today we are looking at expressions, and in particular, we are looking at replacement, basically. And this will be a very quick lesson, I believe. And it's going to use a little bit of your algebra knowledge. And it's going to give you some strategies that I find really, really helpful. So here we go. Kind of my top tip number one. So top tip. There we go. Oh, that's not very good. There we go. Top tip. Here we go. Number one is use brackets. Okay, now this is the one thing that I find really cuts down on what students like to always say, like those silly mistakes. I'll be honest, there's no such thing as a silly mistake. A mistake is a mistake. There's nothing silly about it. It just means we need to do a little bit more practice and cut down on errors. So I do find that if you use brackets, it does cut down on errors. So what do I mean by this? So here we go. Here's an example. I'm going to use, let's see, what letters never get ever used in algebra? What are some lonely letters? V. V rarely ever gets used. I'll use that as 2. And what's another one that doesn't really get that much credit? J. J doesn't get very much love. -3. And I'll put another one in there. What's another kind of lonely one? Let's see. H. Oh, H gets used a lot in geometry. We'll say H is a half. Okay, so here's our actual question. Let's say we had to go and replace this expression. So let's just say we had something like this. 6H plus VJ squared. Okay, so there we go. There's our question. When I say use brackets, this is what I mean. This is what I mean. So I put my 6 here, and I have my plus here, and my little square. And then I'm going to use some colors just to make this really, really obvious. What I really recommend is I'm going to go and make this brackets. Okay, so that's for my H, this is for my V, and this is for my J. And once you do that, then you can go and actually replace with those things. So wherever you see H, say it's going to be a half, so a half goes in here. Then we have a V, which is going to be a 2, and then J is -3. Now the negative numbers are really important for doing this, and this really stops errors, I've always found. It's very, very useful. So let's go and just solve this now. So 6 times a half, that's going to be 3, plus, I'm going to keep this in brackets, 2. I'm going to do our exponents here. -3 squared, that means -3 times -3, so I'm going to +9. Here we go. Just a reminder, 2 brackets that are stuck together, there's a hidden multiplying thing that's going on there. So let's kind of go over there. Continue. So here we would have 3 plus 18, which would give us the answer of 21. So using brackets is going to be really, really important for cutting down on errors and making things very, very clear. So that is my definitely top tip. Let's see, let's get rid of that. Let's go to here. Let's do another example. So here's another example. Let's just use our classic x. So x is going to be -4. Y will be 2. And we always want to have a fraction here because fractions are awesome. We'll say this is -1/3. Sure. Okay. What's the question going to be? The question will be, let's see here. Take away x, y plus 6z minus x squared. So there's a lot of things going on here that could cause a lot of issues. Let's go back to my top tip, and we're going to go with the brackets, right? Absolutely. So I'm going to use colors here. So I like to set up everything with colors. And see, I'm just kind of filling in, just to make this really obvious, what everything sort of looks like. So it's like that. And there's my Z bracket. And notice, things I want to show you, that minus sign is outside the brackets, right? So the minus sign is outside the brackets. I really want to be showing you that sort of thing. Just make it very obvious for you. And here we go. Let's go and replace stuff. So x was -4. So you can see that importance already, hopefully, of having those brackets to cut down on any kind of errors. So -1/3. And then x is -4. Okay. Let's go and do our order of operations, of course. Exponents first. This is -4 squared. What's -4 squared? That's 16. But watch this. See that minus sign? That minus sign outside the brackets just comes right straight down. Then we have some multiplying going on. So we have that 6 times that -1/3. So 6 times that -1/3 would give you, what's that? -2. Notice, again, I put that plus sign here, and I kept that -2 in brackets. And here, this is -4 times 2, which would give you -8. Notice, I'm going to keep that minus sign down here. So, a couple of things are happening that you're going to say like, hey, I know some things that are going to happen right now. You absolutely do. You know that these double negatives become positive. You might not know this one, but when you have a plus and a minus, do you know what that really ends up doing? It ends up just being a minus. It truly does. And you still have that -16. So this is what you got. You're adding and subtracting now, so it's nice and easy. You're going left to right. So if I'm going left to right, +8 minus 2. So 8 minus 2. So 6 minus 16. If you're using my piles and holes, there are more holes, there are more negative numbers, so we know our answer is going to be negative. And there's 10 more negatives, and that's your answer. So try and use brackets when you're doing replacement. And the last example I'm going to give you, so the last example for today, I told you it's a pretty quick lesson. It's another top tip. This is my second top tip. Top tip number 2. Top tip 2. Top tip 2 says this. When dealing with complex fractions. Now you might be thinking like, all my fractions are complex. What do you mean, Mr. Douglas? Well, complex fractions are when you have basically multiple things going on in the numerator and denominator. So when dealing with complex fractions, comma, for all you English majors out there, deal with the top and bottom separate. Now I know I'm using the word top, the numerator, and the bottom, denominator, separate. With an example, this will make sense. But don't be scared of these ones. So students get scared by these ones all the time, and I've never seen math numbers ever jump off the page and attack somebody. So here we go. A is B, so A is 2, B is 3. We'll say C is a half, and we probably need a negative number in here, sure. D is, I don't know, -1/4, sure. Like that. So what's the actual expression going to be? The actual expression is going to be the following. What can we make this look like? Let's make it look like 2CD plus B over 6 all over. So now you're like, oh my gosh, what is just happening? We'll say B, A, C. Over back. Okay, so that's your question. So here we go. My top tip said deal with the numerator and denominator separately. That's what we said. So you want to look at this as two separate questions. This is the first question, and you have a second question down here. Deal with them separately. So we're going to deal with them separately, still using our bracket rule. So 2 kind of bracket plus this bracket over 6. Let's go and fill those things in. And what is C? C is a half. And D was negative a quarter. Oof. And what was B? B was 3. So some little ugly things going on here, but that's okay. We got some multiplying and some dividing going on. I'm going to do my multiplying over here first. 2 times a half. So 2 times a half is going to give you 1. 1 times a negative a quarter. 1 times a negative quarter would just be a negative a quarter. Right. I'm going to leave it in brackets for right now. And 3 over 6, so that's just a half. What's a negative a quarter plus a half? So really quick, like, negative a quarter plus a half. I think that will give me a positive quarter. So that would equal a positive quarter. So your numerator is going to be a positive a quarter. Okay. Let's go and deal with this part right here. So B, A, and C. Let's get a different color. Maybe what colors would not? There we go. So B was 3, 2, and a half. Okay. So 6 times a half, which would just be 3. So that's your bottom. Okay, let's start putting everything together now. Let's put everything together. Let's put it together. So you had a quarter on the numerator divided by this. Okay. So what that really means is a quarter divided by 3. Top tip number 3. If you have a whole number, put it over 1, because it'll make things look nicer. All right, it always looks really better. Now, if you remember way back when, I had a really awesome video that had something about how do you divide fractions. You always check it out. And we did something called keep, change, and flip. Not KFC, KCF. KFC. Not good for you, but it tastes really good. So keep, change, and flip. What does that mean? That just means you're going to keep this a quarter. You're going to keep the quarter. You're going to change the dividing to multiplying. And you're going to flip the other fraction. So I'm going to flip it from 3 over 1 to 1 over 3. And then you're going to go and solve it. So boom, that will give you 1 over 12. And that is your answer. And that finishes off our video for today. Hopefully those top tips help you dealing with expressions and variables. Have a great day. Go and subscribe. Do some math. Smile and be a good person. Ciao. Say yes, I want more Math Jedi videos. Until next time, be awesome.